This has been eating away at me all night, and I. Jeez, my freaking hell. Whatever. I couldn't care less. Folks, we have a major ass problem ahead of us. And it's not really being talked about as much. At least I don't think it is. This is a very serious and real thing. And I really thought that I wouldn't have to worry about it or something. That I wouldn't have to make this video. But it seems that those in power are just gonna push this anyway, nonetheless. So, to give context, right? Because we all need context on what's what. So if you folks don't know, obviously, if you've been keeping up with the news with the UK and everything, and Australia and everything, there's like a policy or whatever that, or law that you're required to give your government ID, what a state ID, a driver's license, whatever, so social security or something, in order to access adult websites. Now, when I mean adult websites, I don't mean like the, porn websites or anything. I don't mean the, shitty, gross, mature websites or anything. We're talking in general websites. We're talking freaking Spotify to listen to music. We're talking freaking here on YouTube, the Discord, freaking in general websites, that are like harmless and everything. This shit is getting so out of hand and so out of control at such a fast pace. And I I knew this would happen eventually, right? Because Big Daddy government's gonna do what they're gonna want to do and everything, I knew it would something like this would happen eventually, but I wasn't expecting it to spiral this damn quickly. And for like now, starting around August 13th or whatever, around August, YouTube's gonna have the very same damn thing here in the US. Well, and to make this all of this, worse and everything, to make all of this even more ridiculous, it's by AI. I don't care if I have a voice cracking though. It's freaking AI, folks. Freaking Skynet from Terminator or some shit. AI, not by a human, and it doesn't matter how. It doesn't Honestly, it doesn't matter how big your account is or whatever, but it doesn't matter what date you set it at or whatever. It doesn't matter through all of the proof or whatever. No, it's by freaking AI. So how this is gonna work, this bullshit, is that you're gonna have to verify your age between if you're 18 or not, 18 or older or not, or whatever. And this works either by giving the government your, state ID, driver's license, or whatever, or freaking facial recognition. And if AI falsely claims that you're younger or whatever than you actually are or whatever, or some bullshit, you're gonna have to give away freaking your state ID or whatever. No. Frick no. I'm not doing this. And it's not like some kind of thing of like, oh well, what's the big deal kind of thing, just take 2 seconds, whatever, let them look over and you'll be fine. No, that's not the point. The point is safety and security. You folks remember even just recently ago with frickin' T, that app T that only women could get on. ridiculous anyway. That too, whatever. How only women could get on there. But how they had to show, like, proof that they were an actual, woman and stuff and everything. And I think this was like legit women, not just like the trans or those that identify as a woman, whatever. Like legit women, So you would have to, show facial recognition or some ID, whatever. And guess freaking what? Freaking 4chan, I think is what it was. No, not Reddit. 4chan, I think. Yeah, 4chan. They've like barged in eventually through the servers, and now all of these women who got on this, female only app, whatever. It was basically like a female gossip, whatever, I guess, from what I could understand. And you could show, and it would show men in your area, and there'll be like, it'll show records on them, which is kind of creepy enough as it is. I could kind of get it to some extent, but like without your consent, whatever. So like show them, if it's like a red flag or a green flag, if the men are good or not, whatever, for whatever to date, whatever. Which is just kind of pathetic to an extent, honestly. Like freaking what? Some female gets on that app or whatever around where I am and stuff, and they happen to see me, whatever, and there's some stuff on me, or whatever, that's not within my consent or whatever, or that I didn't commit to or whatever, but freaking she can see the stuff that I never said yes to or whatever, it's freaking freaky and stupid. And what I hate about this is that that if this was the other way around on men, it would immediately be shut down immediately. But no, since it's a feminine, women's side, whatever, I guess it's okay or some crap, whatever. Anyway, I'm getting a bit sidetracked, but the point is that all those women that showed their IDs, their government officials and all of this other shit, selfies, whatever, that's now being flown around across the internet now because the security in that app was so freaking bad. They couldn't even freaking bother to put in safety features or whatever, or it was super damn poorly. And this isn't just like your face and real name, oh age, oh my god. No, but like freaking banking details. Freaking home addresses and stuff, phone numbers, shit that should not really be that personal. Under anyone should freaking know. Not just with personal phone numbers, home addresses, your banking, all this other stuff that the public should really not know about. But yet it's floating around in cyberspace now. And yet now the UK has this stuff going around now. Well, even to listen to frickin' music on Spotify, you need to give them your everything. Your ID or whatever, all this other shit. And now it's coming across right at YouTube here now in the frickin' US. Within 2 weeks or so. Are you kidding me? And what makes all of this worse to me is AI. If there's a misstep or whatever, oh, too bad. You have to give away your freaking ID. And if you don't commit to any of this other shit, you're just gonna get permanently banned. Freaking Thanos snapped. Infinity War, just like that. So it's not gonna matter frickin' how I sound. It's not gonna matter how well, I guess to an extent it does to how I look or whatever. But it's not gonna matter of all of the proof I've shown. Of all of the years I've been on this channel here, whatever. If AI deems me as underage, I would have to give them their frickin' wallet. And now my frickin' banking, all of this other shit, whatever, is just gonna be flown around in cyberspace. And we can't just have an employee do it. We can't just have a human do it. No. We gotta have frickin' Skynet from Terminator to do this shit for us. What, because we're lazy? Because AI is so freaking advanced now that we can just make AI determine for us between what age we are or aren't? Is this the world we live in now? I could be a freaking old man who's like on his freaking, I don't know, deathbed or whatever, just trying to, I don't know, watch some, and it sounds a bit silly, but like, just to watch some videos or just to browse the internet. Maybe I want to look at my old photos fondly on life before I freaking die because I'm, wrinkled as all hell. I got freaking, white hair and stuff. I'm legit on an oxygen tank, a life support system, and yet AI could just be like, you're a bit underage. Please verify. And I'm on my freaking deathbed here just trying to look back on my life. But since AI said, nope, you seem a bit underage, now I'm gonna have to give away even more of my kit. I'm gonna have to like give away my actual heart to the freaking government just so that in those last few minutes or whatever of not having a heart and dying, I can then look at all this other photos and stuff. Like, is this the world we really live in now, folks? Is this where we're at in society? Well, the government really feels the need to step in and just downgrade all of us? Is this the world we really live in? This is really it, is it? I'm trying to stay. I'm really trying to stay hard to be optimistic, folks. To be positive and to say that there is a fight back, there's some push or whatever. But I don't know. This might be one of my last few videos that I make ever on the channel. Not even just because of, me not uploading or whatever, or being, active still or whatever, but I'm not giving away my freaking state ID or social security or whatever. I can't risk that. I can't risk my data and information just to get onto YouTube, Spotify, freaking whatever. This shit has been eating away at me all night. And I mainly got this from, Penguin Zero, that very popular, Moist Critical Charlie, and, a bunch of other YouTubers and everything or two. And it's just been eating away at me for a few days, and it just seems like it's not stopping anytime soon. I'm really trying hard to stay optimistic and positive that there's a pushback, there's a rebellion, there's a fight against this, but it doesn't look like it's not. It's a freaking train, and it's just gonna chug along anyway. So what the hell do we do? What can we do? What can I do? And just when everything was getting all fine and everything with me here, I swear it feels like that now, every single time. Every time I feel like everything's okay, just when everything starts to be all normal and stuff, all exciting, another shit just comes on top of it just to shred it all away. I had to clean shave and freaking clean myself at the worst freaking time ever. Because now I look younger. That means I must be underage, right? It doesn't matter what my birthday says, right? It doesn't matter what my voice sounds like, right? It doesn't matter all the freaking other videos I've made on this freaking channel. It doesn't matter how far I've come on YouTube on this channel here. It doesn't freaking matter if all this other shit on how I look like and stuff, how I've grown and everything. That doesn't freaking matter, right? Because now I look younger. Now I'm freaking frustrated because I have a high-pitched voice now and shit. So I must be underage. Now I need to give away my frickin' ID. Just to frickin' prove. It doesn't matter what all this other stuff says, and it's not by a frickin' human, it's by a fucking computer. That's the world we live in now, folks. It's freaking madness. It's utter madness. We have to do something, folks. I don't know what to do. I really don't. I I wish I was bigger now. I wish I was as big as Jamie or some shit at this point. I really do. Because the only thing I can think of doing now is spreading videos like this. Spreading the word. The word, excuse me. Getting it out or whatever. And hey, speaking of James, is he gonna get deemed as underage now? Because of the or banned or whatever because of the music he makes? His music's pretty damn dark, folks. I'm sure you folks may have known that. You know, he's worked very hard for his damn music, his hyper hot music. Is that gonna get undeemed because of the freaking dark lyrics that he holds in there? That he's hold personally and stuff and everything? Is that gonna get banned? What about my project? I'm actually working on that now towards, yes. I got about 3 songs in now. And I'm still on, I'm on stage 0, just to give a little sneak peek of what's going on here. But I don't know if that's gonna even matter now. Because freaking what if later on and stuff that gets undeemed as unsafe for freaking kids? Or some shit. What if I can't do post awareness now in the later stages or something because it may be deemed harmful? So what, I can't do part of my projects now because we gotta make it fair for everyone? Even if it's mature? Both in terms of, seriousness and silliness? We gotta make it equal for everyone? Even if there's disclaimers in the videos, even if there's this or that or whatever. This can't be the world we live in, folks. And like I said, I knew this would happen eventually, right? But I just wasn't expecting it to be this damn quick, this fast. It's ridiculous. This shit all started back with a feminist in frickin' Australia or whatever. It's called the Child Safety Act. It has like other names, whatever, da 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 stuff in it too. But the biggest problem with this, folks, is that this is not. I mean, they could be for children, but you know what this really shit is for? Surveillance, censorship. What more do you folks want? You already got my frickin' data. You got my banking. Somewhere. I know you folks do. You got my banking. You got all of this, all of that and stuff. Everything else. What more do you want from me? You know what I look like. You know what I sound like. You keep track of the shit I look at and stuff. You keep track of where I've been and everything. You keep track of where I'm at on my phone. That's how frickin' 911 operators are able to track your location and stuff because there's a tracker on your phone. You got my banking information because of all the data and stuff and everything. You got my personal information and everything here, government. So what more do you want from me? From us? What more do you want? Is my birth certificate not frickin' good enough for you? Is my date of birth not good enough? Is the frickin' bills or set dates, whatever, of paperwork or whatever, of frickin' when I first had my pair of glasses for the first time, or frickin' whatever and everything of, Felpy when I was much younger and everything as a toddler, all of the dates and datas of years ago and stuff, is that not good enough for you? Is frickin' all this other shit not good enough for you? Or are we just lazy so we need AI to step in and do all of the work for us because we can't freaking look at paperwork? And yeah, I know that sounds like a big lot, whatever. I don't know if that's the actual case or whatever. But you know what? I think a human being, I'll rather have a human being look at my freaking paperwork and stuff to see if I'm freaking old enough or whatever, just by looking at the date, just looking at basic human understanding of the freaking five senses that we freaking have. The freaking knowledge that we use in our brains. Instead of freaking AI to decide for me if I'm old enough or not. Disregarding everything else. Everything else. This is the world we live in now. This is the dystopia that we're really in. I don't care if you think it's cringe or whatever because I said that. This is legit 1984 shit right freaking here, folks. This is cyberpunk. This is Blade Runner right freaking here. And it's right now. You know, I've talked to my dad and mom before about this, but they just kind of sort of dismiss me, whatever, on this stuff that I'm overreacting or whatever. But with this proof right here, I just can't look away. And it's just, it's just, I just can't turn away from this. I really can't, folks. I've, it just, everything just feels artificial now. Even with the medicine I'm on and stuff and everything, you know, I'm slowly going insane, folks. I'm generally slowly losing it. And if this is it, then I guess this is kind of it. I'm sorry, but I cannot sacrifice my data that which they already have. You know, they freaking have it on everyone because of paranoid or whatever. Sure, it's for safety reasons or whatever. Sure, but it's another thing for freaking control. How do algorithms work and stuff? You know, why do you think you coincidentally see something that's particularly in your interest? Because they suck up your data like vampires. Because your data and all of the shit that you hold and all of the tracking and stuff is way more valuable than a freaking human soul. If we even have souls or whatever, you know, and that's just sad. And I just can't, if this gets through, I really hope to God, if there is a God or goddess, whatever, the universe at this damn point, you know, I couldn't give a shit less. But if there really is something out there, I'm just praying, hoping that this does not get through. Because I just cannot provide content for you folks if it runs the risk of my actual data not just being breached, but just giving it to anyone. Just have access to a website. I can't, folks. I just can't. I shouldn't have to, but I just can't. Not in a world like this. Not when things are too easy to breach at this point here, folks. It's freaky. I'll see, like, even just recently at the server here, right, of James server, whatever, someone got hacked and everything. My friend Red Griffin got hacked, you know. It's like it's happening like on a daily basis. So why in God's name or earth or whatever, the universe, would I freaking ever be willing to give away my government ID, my state ID, my birth certificate, my whatever, just to verify that I'm legal of age to visit a website through AI that disregards everything else and only because of this new bullshit system in place? Why would I do any of this if it's just so easy to snitch away right then and there? If the vault door of the bank is right frickin' open, anyone can just walk in and take it. Why would I ever be willing to trust or do any of this if you can't even freaking prove that other, and it's not even about like, it's not like never having to breach security ever or hack ever, because it does happen eventually. But like to have it be so frequent like this, and such a strong push. It's only been like what, only a week or so now, going on over a week, whatever, and this shit's just coming in like a freaking tidal wave. I just can't. That will not do. I can't risk it, folks. If everything gets wiped away or because I couldn't commit to an AI, I'm sorry. I really do wish I was a big YouTuber, folks. Because this needs to be, and I do appreciate each and every one of you. I'm so damn grateful I have an audience here, honestly. And I truly mean that from the very bottom of my heart, because this is a very serious thing. It's a threat to our legit democracy, it's a threat to our freedom of speech, and it's just even more so of the government just to watch us and spy on us, even more so than they already have. We cannot let this go through, folks. And if you have a child or whatever, God forbid, who, what this whole bill says it is, with keeping the children safe, whatever, let the parents do it. It should not be under any government authority or state or whatever to parent your kids. And if it's a bit too much for you, because, I get that sometimes, but like if it's a bit much for you, whatever, then that's why you place restrictions. When I was younger, I could only do 2 hours on the computer. You know, we had stuff like that and, parenting stuff. Well, eventually, I would only have to do 30 minutes, an hour or so. That's how my parents determined it. If I got a bit, a bit weird or a bit, da da da, whatever, or misbehave, we would take time limits, whatever, on the family computer away. That's how we would do it. And if we were really bad, which was rare, but if we were really freaking bad, we would just say, no computer for da da da. And I'm not saying that's how, you should do it or whatever, because I'm no parent, but that's just how my parents did it or whatever. And I felt like, I'm not saying like I have like the best parents for that technique or whatever, but there should be something similar, some restrictions. It should not be the government's job to babysit your kids. And I know it's hard and all because, I get some families are just trying to get by, whatever. But still, if anything, if it's really that bad or whatever, just place restrictions. Put timestamps or whatever. It's not that hard. And sure, it could be about what your child watches and stuff or whatever, but even then, you just glance over at the history or whatever. What is going on? Why have we sunken into a world to, well, now the governments are just sweeping in like this? I'm just gonna go on and on at this standpoint, folks. I just wasted my breath for a half hour. I know I'm just going on a big tangent here with this shit, but it's utterly important, folks, that we do something, anything. I truly mean it, anything at this point. I just, I, I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I think after this, I'm just gonna, I don't know, take a shower or some shit or bath, whatever, and just go to bed, honestly, because it's just like I'm really saying, this has just really been eating away at me. It truly has been, folks. what's next after this shit? What's gonna happen next year or 2017, 2027, whatever. What's next? You're gonna be after my freaking games now too? M-rated mature games or whatever or some shit. Oh no, we can't have this game because it has too much gore or whatever. Despite you're the legal age to have maturity games or whatever. Nope, you can't have that D-list. Even though I already paid for it years ago. No, you can't have that game. We gotta do something, folks. We gotta freaking actually do something here with this shit. This isn't about, censorship in the sense of safety or whatever. This is genuinely the monitoring of everything. And we gotta do something. I do not care if you're LGBT. I don't care if you're an atheist. I don't care if you believe in God or whatever, or if you're religious. I don't give a shit whatever it is. Whoever you may or may not be. Because at the end of the day, it truly does not matter because this affects everyone. Everything. And we have to do something about this, folks. There has to be a way. I'm very optimistic to the point of naiveness, but I'm just trying to keep my sanity at straight, folks. I have been up all night worrying on this. I legit was having, still am to an extent, but I was legit having an anxiety mental attack here. Legit, I was going through post-awareness, freaking advanced plaque entanglements mentally. I shit you not with this. Because it's very concerning, very worrying. I could not sleep very well last night. And now that this is legit upon us here and everything, I'm trying hard to be optimistic and that there is something. But if this gets through, this just may be it, folks. And I really mean that, no MOP horror AUs because they may be deemed too graphic or whatever because of the body horror or whatever. No da-da-da, whatever, all this other shit that I do. And I can't give away such personal information that's on me, that's made for my protection or whatever, or so, or something that not anyone should know, not even you, the audience. I mean, you obviously know about it because I'm a citizen, of the U.S. here, of this country here and everything. We obviously know about it, but we don't know the full details of it because you're not supposed to know the details. Obviously, I have a banking card, a debit card, whatever, but you can't actually know the account numbers and stuff because you're not supposed to know about that shit. That's like saying, of course, I have a piggy bank, but you're not supposed to know what actual money is in there, even though the money's in there, because the whole point of it is that that's private information. That's the only stuff the bank teller should know, or if anything, me alone. You know? I'm legit losing my mind here, folks. I did not mean to go on such a tangent for this long. It's just that this is extremely serious, folks. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not bluffing anything. This isn't clickbait, okay? This isn't a joke. This isn't a freaking meme. This is general shit here. Raw, uncooked shit. And we really need to do something on this. This is very serious. It's very real. It's happening. And if anything else, I may just have to disappear at this damn point. Because I can't give away such personal, private information to cyberspace. I can't give away all of actual me to be hollow and everything just for your guys' entertainment, your folks' entertainment. That may sound harsh or whatever, but there's some point where you just gotta truly drop the ball, and this is really it here, folks. I can't let such personal information about myself, or even anyone else for that matter, but just, mainly me. I can't give away such personal stuff just for your guys' entertainment, just for anyone to take it and use. Even if they say it's for safety or bullshit, whatever, it's all bullshit. Because anyone can just take it. Like I said before, look at T. Look at some of the other stuff. Just look at even Discord here and everything. I just can't, folks. I can't risk my safety and well-being for your folks' entertainment. And if truly within the next 2 weeks, week or whatever, if that's what it really takes to be here on YouTube, if that's what it's really going to take for me to have content just for you folks' enjoyment, I can't do it. I just can't. I might not be able. I might not even be able to work on my project or whatever that I've been thinking hard on or whatever to do it because, of whatever bullshit, whatever. I may be exaggerating. I may be overthinking this, but you know what? At the end of the day, thinking is truly my best friend here at this point. And yeah. I'm just going to repeat myself here and everything, but truly, this just may be it. This may truly be the final frontier, folks. Screw my life. I'll be okay. At least that's what I say to myself. That I think I'll be okay. I want to be. Yeah, it is what it is, but there's nothing much I can really do about it. I'm not a politician. I'm not part of the government or some shit. I'm just a normal citizen who gets thrown around with all this other shit. Spread the word, folks. I'm just going to keep saying it, repeating it annoyingly, but truly spread the word. Share this video. Share everything you can here with this. I'm going to with this, with everything in this. I'm going to share this everywhere myself. Do everything you can. Spread the word. Get as much as you can out there. Make this video as big as possible because we cannot let this happen. My final saying is we cannot let this happen. We must do something. We need to do something. And we cannot let them get away with this, folks. We truly can't. We have to put a stop to this. In every way we can, we must do something. Because if this gets through, we're all really in danger here at this point. It's not about safety. It's about censorship. The only thing that will be about safety is if our data was actually safe, but it's not. And to have AI go through with this and everything and determine for us instead of an actual human being, it's an immediate red flag, folks. And I want as many folks to know as possible. I want the general world to know about this. Spread the word.